Morning. I can see now that we are complete, so we can start our session. Are you ready to learn, grade 8 students? Please tap the heart react button if you are ready to learn. Wow, I can see some heart reactions. All right, but before anything else, I want to invite you into a prayer. So let's bow our heads and feel the presence of our Lord. Father God, as we start this new day for new learning, we ask for your guidance. Lead us all the way. May you let us see through your eyes, listen through your ears, and speak with your mouth. Be with us as we explore the world. Give us the heart to love and be kind to one another. Please watch over all our teachers, children, and families. In Jesus' name, amen. Again, good morning, grade 8 students. I am your teacher, Ichie GOLOSINO, but you can call me Teacher Chi. I want to be called Teacher Chi. And how about you? As part of our attendance, please type in the chat box, what name would you like me to call you? Any nicknames as part of our attendance? All right, I will wait for your answers. Neil. Okay, Neil, Jobel, Vina, Mimi, the niece from Mimi. That's very cute. Kai. And Sarah. Saidi. Okay. Thank you. Is it okay if I call you by that name for this whole session? All right. Thank you. Little grade 8 students. And for a few reminders, keep your microphone on mute. And if you want to say something in class, just raise your hand and wait for me to acknowledge you before unmuting. And also, let's be responsible in the chat box. Use the chat box for class-related matters only. And also, I want to see your beautiful faces and handsome face of Neil. So please let your cameras open. Please keep your cameras open all the time. And again, this is our topic for today for our TLE ICT technical drafting. Last time, we have discussed about the concepts and principles of um, manual hand tools. And now we will be discussing about the appropriate measuring tools based on its uses and drafting specifications. So basically, we will discuss about the measuring tools in technical drafting. So for our objectives, can you read it for me, the first bullet, Kai? Thank you, Kai. And for the second bullet, can you read it for me, Mimi?
Commit to conduct one's work with the highest standard.
And for the last bullet, can you read it for me, Vina?
Demonstrate the ability to choose the most appropriate tool for the required output of drawing jobs.
Now that we already know the objectives, I know that you are very excited for our first activity. Are you familiar with the word hand? Do you know word hand? And we will be playing it because our first activity is entitled Find It. So for the direction of this activity, right. So find it direction, find the words that seem familiar to you within 90 seconds. So I will show you a word hand and you will find all the words that seem familiar to you within just 90 seconds. I have the timer here. So are you ready? Please tap the heart react button if you are ready. So if you find the words, just chat it in the chat box, as many as you can. So we have 10 expected answers. So let's see if someone will get the perfect score. So your 90 seconds starts now. Yes, I can see some answers here from Jobel and Guy. Just type as many as you can. 60 seconds left. No, we are receiving answers. Here I'm receiving answers. Here in the chat box from Jobel, from Kai, from Vina, Sarah. Oh, stick from Kai. 40 seconds. I know that you grade 8 students have a clear eyesight, and I envy you guys. So I know you can do it. All right. 10 seconds. Okay, let's see if, wow, from Neil. Square, triangular scale, protractor, ruler, yardstick, triangle. And from Jobel, she answered T square, protractor, divider. From Sarah, triangular scale, triangles, and yardstick. And from Vina, square, tape. And from Kyra, stick, tape measure, and ruler. So let's see if how many got, and if how many words did you find. So the expected answers here are compass. No one has answered compass. Ruler, tape measure, T-square, yardstick, divider, protractor, tape ruler, triangles, and triangular scale. So Neil got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 correct answers. And sige, I have questions regarding this activity. So thank you for participating, grade 8 students. So for our first question, what are the common characteristics of these words? What are the common characteristics of these words? You can raise your hand if you want to answer. You can also type it in the chat box. Okay. Sige, I will call someone na lang. Sige, Sarah.
For me, teacher, they are common in terms of they can use in while I am drawing or I am measuring something.
Yes, Sarah, I agree, no? The common characteristics between these words that you have found is that they can be used in drawing or drafting. And for the next question, what do you think these words are called? What do you think these words are called? Can I call Vina? Vina, can you open your cam?
Ano po ulit yung tanong?
What do you think these words are called?
Yung to measure um to measure the distance.
Ay, yes, yes. Ay, pwede, no? These words, no, ay nagme-measure ng distance. Sige, but ano yung pinakatawag? What do you think these words are called? May makakahula pa? Measuring tools from Sarah. Very good, Sarah. These are measuring tools like a T-square, ruler, divider. And for the third question, for the last question, where do you usually use these tools? If they are measuring tools, where do you usually use these tools? I can see Mimi is smiling. Where do you usually use these measuring tools, Mimi?
Usually, sa drawing po
Sa drawing.
and kapag may sinusukat pong bagay po para po makuha yung measure.
Thank you, Mimi. Are you an artist? Do you love to draw?
Yes po.
Yes, so I know that you are very familiar with these tools. And because this session is very lively, I know that you are also excited for our next activity. So for our next activity, I want you to access the link that I will send. So this is quite easy. Oh, I saw the answer of Jovel in drawing. So please access the link and it will redirect you in this site. So if you have accessed the link, enter your name first so that your answers will be submitted. All right. So the direction for this activity with the given five different shapes, each of you will list the different tools that can be used to draw or measure them. So I have an example for the number one. So for the number one, with the given list, what measuring tools will you use if you will draw or measure rectangle and square? So I answered here ruler, and number two, if you have some answers pa, no, one ruler, two, three, so on. So just click this comment tab and type your answer. So you only have 5 minutes to answer all these 5 items. Are you ready? Please tap the heart react button before we can start. Wow, thank you. So your 5 minutes starts now. If you have troubles in accessing the link, just type in the chat box your answers. Mimi, have you entered your name?
Pa,
Have you entered your name? All right. You have 3 minutes left. It's okay, Kai. Wow, I received 7 responses in the number one. So let's see. For the number one, T-square. Oh, ruler and T-square. Protractor, ruler, yardstick, ruler, protractor, ruler, and T-square. So I got similar answers. For the number 2, I have 6 responses. Compass, compass, compass. Oh, you all answered compass. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. So let's see the number 2. Compass. For the number 3, you have answered triangles. Triangles, triangular scale, ruler, triangles, o protractor, triangular scale, and triangles are the common answers here for number 3. How about for the number 4? 40 seconds left. Let's see the answers for the number 5. So with the given list, what measuring tools will you use if you will draw or measure vertical and horizontal lines? I received ruler, triangular scale, yardstick, ruler and yardstick are the most common answers here. Oh, Sarah answered triangular scale and triangles. All right. I'm waiting for more responses in number 4. 2, 1. So let's check the number 4. I received protractor for arcs. Oh, protractor and compass. Thank you. Yan, we have finished another activity. And also, after the activity, I have few questions for you guys. So, the questions here are related from the activity that you have done. So, for our first question, how did you choose the measuring tools? You can raise your hand if you want. You can also type in the chat box. How did you choose the measuring tools? Sige, I'm waiting for someone to raise her. Okay, Jubel. How did you choose the measuring tools?
Teacher, maybe based on their appearance.
Based on their appearance. Based on the appearance of what? Of the tools ba? Or the shapes?
Uh, the boat po.
Both, ayan.
The
Thank you,
rectangle
Jubel.
or yung appearance ng ruler. Ganun po.
Yes. No? I agree, no, that maybe no, we have chosen the tools based on the shapes, also based on the appearance of the tools that we know that can be drawn or measured with the certain tools such as yung lines, yung rectangles, yung circles. Oh, Neil, from Neil, prior knowledge in familiar tools that I have seen before and by their names. Thank you for that, Neil. And for the second question, what similarities did you observe between those tools that you have listed? For example, under the rectangle and square, some of the common answers there are ruler and T-square. What do you think are the similarities between those tools? Can someone please answer this number 2 question? Is it okay if I call you Sarah? Ayun, Sarah.
Teacher, for me is aside from their appearance, for example, a ruler and a T-square, they're both rough on edges, so I can use them to draw a line. And aside from that, the usage, because for the ruler and T-square, they can use to draw both straight lines. Unlike the other, for the compass, you cannot draw easily a straight line with that one.
Yes, I thank you, Sarah, for that answer. No, that we have discovered that there are tools that are intended for drawing the same shapes like lines, boxes, circles, and other shapes, and also for based on the appearance of that tools. And for the number 3 question, what do you think will happen if you use a different measuring tools to draw the same shapes? Just like what Sarah has answered. What do you think will happen if you use a different measuring tools to draw the same shapes? Can you use compass to draw a rectangle or square? Can I call Neil?
Magiging difficult po yung yung process ng paggawa po. Halimbawa paggawa, yun po yung nabanggit niyo po. Paggamit ng protractor po para makagawa ng triangle, gano'n. Mahirap po siya since hindi po yun yung use niya.
I agree, Neil, no? It would be difficult for us to draw the same shapes with the correct measurement if we use a different measuring tools because they will be different in sizes and also with their dimensions. So for the fourth question, is it important to use the correct tools based on the task description? Why? Sige ha, Tagalogin ko. Importante ba na gamitin natin yung mga tamang tools base sa mga inassign na trabaho, base sa description ng trabaho at bakit? Mimi, can I call Mimi to answer
Yes,
the
po.
okay, Mimi?
Paggamit po ng correct na tools po para sa task na gagawin ko, una po mas mapapadali po yung pag-ano natin and mas appropriate po siyang tingnan kasi po, para yung tools na yun, para dun po talaga siya sa pag
Yes.
compass, para po makagawa po ng video. Mas easy po, imbes po sa protractor. Okay. Thank you
Yes,
po.
I agree, Mimi, and also the answer of Tyra. Yes po, kasi kung hindi tayo gagamit, magiging mahirap ang paggawa nito. I agree because there are tools that are designed for a certain task, and using the right tools can also mean doing the job correctly. So for the fifth question, what happens when you use the correct tools in doing your job? What happens when you use the correct tools in doing your job? Saidi?
Narinig po ba ako?
Yes, Saidi. Saidi or Sadie?
CD po talaga siya.
Sadie,
Yeah.
Sadie.
When we use the correct tools po in doing our job, ibig sabihin po nun, yung ginagawa po natin, the result po will be accurate and perfect po since ginamit po natin yung correct tools eh. Kasi naman po gamitin natin yung maling tools, which means yung magiging resulta po nun, hindi po maganda yung kakalabasan.
Thank you, Sadie. Thank you, Sadie. I agree. No, I agree that when we use correct tools, we can produce outputs that are of good quality. Thank you for that answer, Sadie. And for the last question, as a student, in what ways can you increase the quality of your work? As a student, in what ways can you increase the quality of your work? Vina, can I hear from you, Vina?
Siguro po yung paggamit po nung mga tools na binanggit po kanina para mas mapadali yung work na ginagawa.
Thank you, Vina. Thank you for that answer. How about you, Jobel? As a student, in what ways can you increase the quality of your homework, of your assignments?
I think po ma, by studying well po. Tapos, ayun po, consistency. Yun po, teacher.
I agree, no? Consistency and studying hard is a must. So, again, can we give ourselves one clap because we have successfully finished another activity? And I know that we are all excited with the lecture, with our discussion proper, with the measuring tools that we have mentioned earlier. We will now discuss it one by one. So, let's go with our lecture. All right. Can you see now my screen? The our lesson for today. Oh wait, I will just read the answer of Kyra. Bilang estudyante, gagamit po ako ng tamang kagamitan para sa paggawa nito para rin po magiging maganda at maayos ang kalalabasan. Thank you, Kai. So our lesson for today is selecting appropriate measuring tools based on its uses and drafting specifications. So now, for our lecture, we will be focusing on different measuring tools and their uses. So for number 1, can you read it for me, Kai?
This tool is used for scribing or drawing marks, circles, parts of pencils, and that.
Thank you, Kai. And aside from that, no, compass, if you can see in the picture, it is composed of one with the pen leg and the needle point leg being held together with the handle. And this drawing instrument can be used for both penciling and inking in technical drafting. So for the next measuring tool, we have divider. Can you read it for me, Mimi?
Number 2, divider. A divider is used for diving distances into several equal parts by the trial and error method. Thank you po.
Thank you, Mimi. So if you can see in the picture, divider is similar in the compass to the compass in construction. So this divider is a drawing instrument used when transferring measurements, dividing lines and arcs into the desired number of equal parts. So it can easily transfer accurate measurements by adjusting the divider points. So for the next measuring tool, we have protractor. Can you read it for me, Sadie?
Protractor. Protractor is used to lay out angles and measure and set angles other than those obtainable with the triangles.
Yeah. Thank you, Sadie. I know that we are all familiar with the protractor. So protractor, aside from what Sadie has read, it is protractor is also used to determine gradations of the degrees when measuring arcs, angles, and circles. So for the next one, the most popular tool, we have ruler. Can you read it for me, Sarah?
Ruler, it is needed for measuring sizes and distances. It is also used in small drawing descriptions.
Why do you think it is only used in small drawing descriptions? Ruler has only how many inches?
12 inches po. So,
12
hindi po siya
inches.
makaka-measure sa ibang ano.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. So ruler is the most popular type of measuring tool, and it is needed for measuring sizes and distances of small drawing descriptions. And for the next measuring tool, we have tape measure. So I will read this. It is used to measure length. They are used to measure many of the distances that are too long for a ruler to measure easily, and they are flexible, not rigid. So you can just fold it anytime. You can bring it anytime, anywhere. And tape measure because of its shape, allows for a long measure to be easily carried in a pocket or toolkit. So for the next one, this is my father's favorite measuring tool. We have tape or tape ruler. Neil, can you read it?
Metric tape ruler comes in comparable widths and lengths up to 10 meters. It provides an easy means for accurate measuring curved surfaces.
Alright, thank you, Neil. So we have tape ruler. Tape ruler is commonly used in construction and industry measurement purposes. And for the next measuring tool, we have triangles. Triangles are used for drawing vertical and oblique lines. That's it. Triangles are designed for that usage. For because the base of the triangle sometimes it is used as a partner with the T-square. The base of the triangle must rest on the blade of the T-square. So for the next measuring tool, we have triangular scale. That's the triangular square. Triangular scale. So can you read it for me, Jubel?
Triangular scale. It is used in general drawing. Its main purpose is to reproduce the dimensions in full size or reduce or enlarge them on a drawing. Scales help a drafter keep the proportion accurate.
Thank you, Jubel. So that is for that triangular scale, no? This fun fact, this is commonly used for measuring and preparing scale drawings such as blueprints and maps. So for the second to the last one, we have T-square. T-square is used as a guide in drawing horizontal lines and in measuring up to a 48 degrees, inches straight line. So if the T-square is designed to draw horizontal lines and triangles naman ay for vertical lines. So please remember the differences between the. So for the next one, for the last one, yardstick or meter stick. Yardstick is used to measure objects that are larger than a piece of paper. So yardstick is a long tool to measure lengths of up to 3 feet. So ganyan kahaba yung yardstick. And I hope you have learned a lot. So as a review, in the chat box, type the name of the measuring tool that you can recall. You can type as many as you can. Type as many as you can remember. So I'm waiting for your answers. What tools can you recall from our discussion? I remember ruler. Ruler is my favorite measuring tool. You can type in chat box. So, wow. Wow, Neil. All right. Wow, Kai. Compass, divider, protractor, ruler, tape measure. Wow. I'm happy and validated that you have learned a lot from our session. All right. Thank you for your answers, Kai, Jobel, Vina, Denise, Mimi, Neil, and Vina. Thank you. And Sarah, thank you for your answers. And also Sadie. So again, after our discussion, we have an activity. So for our activity, please access this link that I will send to you. And wait for the. So please enter the class code 51950. 51950. 51950. So we have two students here. So the direction for this activity, just answer the following questions about choosing the right tools, choosing the appropriate tools for drawing a government building with the right measurements. So I guess we can start. You only have 2 minutes to answer every question. So for number one, if you are asked to draw a government building with accurate measurements like the ones in the picture, what tools will you use? You can now type your answers. Wait. Uh, One minute left. 30 seconds left. All right, let's read the answers here. For number one, if you are asked to draw a government building with accurate measurements like the ones in the picture, what tools will you use? And so, ayun, may nabasa ako na T-squared ruler, triangular scale. So, that's the answer, your answers for the number one. So, let's see for the number two. So, what factors did you consider in choosing the tools for drafting the building? What factors did you consider in choosing the tools for drafting the building? Ano yung mga factors na ikinonsidera ninyo para piliin yung mga tools na isinagot nyo sa number one? So, received 2 responses. Thirty seconds left. So your answers for number 2, that was description and characteristics from Sarah, the maximum and limitation. Wow, Kai. And from Jobel, the function and layout of the building to be drawn. I like it. Oh, from Neil, the shapes and lines that are present in the illustration is the main factor that played into consideration of tools that is appropriate. I like the answer of Neil. And for Mimi, I consider the length and angles. Alright, for Vina, the factors that I consider is in the picture. There are triangles, shapes, horizontal and vertical lines. Thank you, Vina. And lastly, for Sadie, the accuracy of the angles and lines. Thank you for your answers. And for the last question, why do you think the tools you have chosen are appropriate for the drawing job? Why do you think the tools you have chosen are appropriate for the drawing job? Okay, now type your answer. One minute left. Ten seconds left. Right? Your 2 minutes is up. So I received answers from Jobel. It is because I based it on how will my output look like once finished according to the draft plan. And from Neil, because the tools I have stated possesses the right traits for the job, such as the ability to create and measure lines. Thank you. For Vina, because of the size and length of the tools that I choose is compatible for the drawing job. Thank you, Vina. And for Sarah, only because I choose the tools that best fit the needed tools for my drawing. I based on their use and description. As mentioned earlier, use the tool that would make your work easier. Thank you for your answers. And Can we give ourselves one clap again for successfully finishing another activity? Congrats, grade 8 students. Thank you for your cooperation. And because we have finished another activity, the quiz is inevitable in our life. So we will have a quiz, a 5-item quiz, and you will answer it within 3 minutes. So I know it would be easier for you. So for our assessment, please access the link. And all right, you only have 3 minutes to answer the quiz. Your timer starts now. Have 2 minutes. I'm so happy with the scores. So let's wait for the others. You have 1 minute left.
Walang picture.
20 seconds left.
Kaya lang yung parang gagawin eh. Hindi nyo naman ako. I mean, sa dalawa nyo, madami ako gagawin. Okay na sa
Time is up. Let's see. I received 7 responses. So 5. Wow. We have 2 persons here that got the perfect score. So the lowest is 3. Wow. Thank you for the scores. I'm so happy that I know that you have learned a lot from our discussion. And for our next, no, this is not an activity, but I will leave you with an assignment. So this is our assignment.
alam niyo din ko.
So I will send you the link of the drive. So this is our Google Drive. So in the drive, we will see the worksheet that I have provided and the folder for individual submission. So the content of our worksheet for our assignment, the direction is look for an object that fits each of the description below. Write the name of the object and tools used in measuring them. Item 1 will serve as an example. For example, for the number 1, the given measurement is 2 feet long object in inch. So the object that fits that measurement is a flat screen TV. So 2 feet, I converted it in inches. So the object that fits that measurement is a flat screen television. And the name of the tool that was used in measuring it is a tape measure. So this is the format for the next items. For example, so for the number 2, the 100 centimeters long object in millimeter. So what is the object that fits that measurement and what is the name of the tool that was used in measuring the object? So do you have any questions for this assignment? None so far.
Question?
Again, question, Jobel.
No questions po, teacher.
No questions, no questions. Thank you, Jobel. So again, this is our drive. So now we have reached the end of our session. So for our closing, I want you to remember all of these tools that we have discussed earlier. So again, these are the measuring tools for technical drafting. The compass, the divider, the protractor, ruler, tape measure, tape or tape ruler, triangles, triangular scale, T-square, yardstick, and meters or meter stick. So as a TLE ICT technical drafting student kayo, I want you to remember all of these and their uses para if you need to apply, if you need to do some technical drafting, hindi na kayo mahihirapan dito sa tools because you have already mastered the in selecting the appropriate tools for the output or for the drawing jobs. So again, thank you for attending the session, grade 8 students. Thank you for participating. I hope you and your family are safe. I now bid you goodbye. Again, I am your teacher Chi, your TLE ICT technical drafting teacher. Goodbye.